All right, so welcome back now. So I'll just go ahead and create a very simple folder now, and I'll just call it node course. You can call it whatever you want. I'll call my node course, and I'll just go ahead and drag this inside of my Visual Studio Code. And also, first of all, assume that you guys have done the installation of Node.js on your local machine. If you're not sure if you have Node.js installed, it's very simple. You just go to your command prompts by typing cmd. When you click on command prompts, you can just put in a very simple command, which I'll be showing you now. You just say node space -v. That's to check the version of Node.js you have installed. If it shows a version, it means you have Node.js installed. But if it doesn't show anything, that means, or if it shows an error, it means that your Node.js did not install successfully. So now it's still not opened. Let me drag and drop it again. Okay. All right, so perfect. Now we have Node course here. So now the first thing I want to do is, first of all, open my terminal. Okay, let's create our first Node.js app. Okay, so now the first command we'll type in here is a very simple command. We'll type in a very simple command, and this command is called npm init. That's what we're trying to initialize what a node package. Npm what? Init. When you see it, it's going to ask you some questions and you just respond accordingly. Okay. So it's asking me now that what's the name of my package. So I did named it node course. So it will show you what you named it already. If you want to change it, you go ahead and type what you want to change in it, or else you just leave it that way. So I just click on enter because I'm fine with that. It's say version 1.00. The reason why it's asking a version is that, so for example, now if you are building a serious product, now serious products usually have versions. Maybe, okay, for example, now you cannot compare the first version of Facebook to the current version of Facebook. So you can just go ahead and just put enter because this is the first version of whatever you're creating. Enter, yes. So now they are asking for a description. So I'll go ahead and give it a description. I'll just say a simple Node.js application for learning, for learning purpose. Right? So when I click on enter, it will ask me what is the name of my entry point. That means what will be my most valuable file. So by default, it is named index.js, but me, I want to name my own app.js. So I'll just go ahead and put in app.js. And then a test command. I don't have any test command. Git repository. I don't have any Git repository for now. Keywords. So this is mostly for most keywords. I don't have any keyword for now. My name. So my name is usually, I just call myself built by body. You can follow me on Instagram to see more of my works. Built by body. That's the name of my IG profile. License. Type. I don't think I want common JS. There's this other JS type. I'm coming. Let me see if I can correct it. I think there's another type. No, not common JS. It's module. Is it module JS? Let me be sure. Yes. So we have ES module JS. So I'll say ES module. Let me see if I hope that works. Okay. So now by the time we're done, you should see that what we have a package dot what JSON. Now a package dot JSON, for those of you that don't know what a package dot JSON is, it allows us to, okay, this is wrong. It's not supposed to be ES module. Okay, it's supposed to be common JS. Common JS. Sorry, my bad. Change this to common JS, and it's fine this way now. Perfect. Now, a package.json is like a JavaScript object notation file that gives information about your specific web application. It has information such as the name of your application, the version, what your application is about, the license involved in your application. It also have information concerning the tools that you have installed inside of what your application. Another benefit of the package.json is that it allows you to be able to install. It allows your application to be lightweight without having to carry something called the node modules. I will show you the node modules as soon as we make our first installation. So now we have our nodejs here now. So I'm just trying to find just a simple thing we can do. So we can just do a simple call. So yes, our app entry points. Remember, we said our main file is main app.js. So we have to create that app.js. So just say app.js. When we create app.js, let's just do a simple console.log, and we say hello from the other side. When we do hello from the other side, we run our server by saying node what app. And by the time we do that, we should see hello from the other side, just like the way we did in our ES6 course. So now we are done with creating the JavaScript file. So now the next step that we'll be going on with now is we'll be making use of something called Express. Okay, we're talking about what Express. Remember all of the HTTP methods, get, post, puts, and we spoke about. Express is going to be what we allow us to talk more about all of those. But I would like you to know that Express is more like a fast and minimal flexible web framework that features on the back end. It works majorly with Node.js, okay? And it allows you to be able to build APIs and build servers for the back end, and it handles operations like routing, and it helps you to handle response and requests on the back end. It allows you to be able to create different types of routes. You get routes, post routes, put routes, and delete routes. It allows you to be able to use some things called middlewares, which we'll talk about as we move on. And it allows you to be able to send responses in JSON format, in HTML and other formats. So that's that about that. Very, very simple. Okay. So now, in order for us to use Express, the first thing we need to do is we need to type in a command on our terminal to install Express. And in order to install Express, let me first of all clear my terminal. We do npm install Express. And by the time we click on that, we see that Express starts to load. Okay. Now, if you notice something, now that we have installed Express, you should see that a folder called Node Modules comes up. I'm sure most of you that have worked with React know what Node Modules is. Now, Node Modules is a folder that where all of your tools, their files are stored inside of Node Modules. So you literally have no business in Node Modules. Don't go there to delete anything or edit anything. Just leave it the way it is. So now, if you check our package.json, you should see that a new data has been added called dependencies, and we have our Express already installed here. If you see Express is 5.2.1, that's the version. Okay. All right. Okay, so now the next thing we'll do after this, we'll first create our first local server using Express. We'll create our first local server. How do we do that? What we need to do is, the first thing we need to do is import Express. Import Express, right? We import Express from Express. So now Express is a tool inside of the library Express, which we are working with. So we have imported Express from what? Express. So now the next thing now is that we want to store this Express thing here. We want to get all of its method and save it inside to a variable called app. So this is a constant format that you need to know. Then you initialize it to app, a variable called app, and we're going to say it should be what? It will have all of the functions, all the methods of Express, which is here. So these first two lines are very, very crucial. Are we together? Now, we want to create a route. We want to create a route. And that route is going to be for the first page of every website. The first page of every website is usually what? Just a slash. Let's say, okay, www.jumia.com. Then that slash is used to indicate what? The first page. So we do something like, we call this app to create our first route. I'm showing you how to create a route. Let me find the comments how to create a route in Node and Express. So now we want to create a route. To create a route, we just put app. That's this app which we declared here. Then you now choose the type of HTTP method. Is it get? Is it post? Is it put? Is it patch? Is it delete? Now we say we want to get the information of the first page. We want to visit the first page. So that will be what? A get request. Then inside of this function, it takes in two things. The first thing is the address, which will be slash. It can be anything you want. You can call it slash post, slash users, slash whatever you want. But me, I'm just going to put a simple slash. When we now put slash, you put in comma. The next thing it takes in is another function, a callback function. Now this callback function is going to be an arrow function, obviously, because we are dealing with ES6 syntax. Now, inside of this arrow function, it has two arguments, okay? It has the request, and then what it has what the response. I think I will explain more about that in the next video, but I just want you to see what I'm saying. So now response is to pass out a response to give feedback to the user. So we want to give a feedback whenever this route is visited, this slash route. So we can just say response.send. Send is a method embedded inside of the response. Then we can put in a simple message and just say, hello, welcome to the website. Okay. Now, let's visit slash now. But we can't just visit slash, that's the problem. It needs to run on a local server. In order for it to run on a local server, we need to choose which of the ports, something called a port number. In every website you see, every major web application, mobile application is running on a specific port. So we need to, since we are running our server on a local, on our local computer, we need to what? Choose a port. And to choose a port, we use something called app.listing. Okay? Then this app.listing is a function that takes in two items. First of all, it takes in the port number, which in this lesson we'll be using 3000. And then it takes in a callback function, which is an arrow function. And then it's going to give us back maybe like a console.log that says server is running on port 3000. So by the time we say we want to run the local server, we say node app. We have an error, which I don't know what the error is, but we'll find out. Okay, so there's an error in our package.json. So they said we should not call it common.js, we should just call it module. We should write module. So we just put in module here, and I think that error should be resolved. So we just do node app again. So we see server is running on what? Port 3000. Now, how do we visit that port? In order to visit that port, we need to use this address called http. We put column // and we say local hosts and colon 3000. So every change you want to view, you'll be seeing it here. And as you can see, we have hello, welcome to what? To the website. So that's that. We have created our first local server and we have also created our first route. So in the next video, we'll be exploring other routes. Thank you. Other types of HTTP methods and other things we can do on Express. So thank you for having me, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great time.